Okay, so if you're a storyteller, you know there's one challenge that's bigger than almost any other: controlling time. And I'm not just talking about moving the plot forward. I'm talking about controlling how your audience feels time passing. How do you make a single heart-stopping second stretch out and feel like it's lasting forever?
Right? This is the question. It stumps even the best of us. You've got that one critical moment. Maybe it's a car crash or a first kiss or that game-winning shot. But how do you stop it from just flying by on the page? How do you make the reader live in that second with your character?
Well, a lot of us have been tempted to just write it out. Something like, time slowed down. And look, it's direct, it's simple, but it's a shortcut, isn't it? You're telling the reader what happened instead of actually making them feel it. It's just information, not an experience.
But what if I told you there is a better way? A way to actually show it? It's a method that works directly on the reader's brain. A technique so effective it honestly feels like a magic trick. It's what our source material calls the Hollywood technique.
Okay, let's break this down. The key phrase to focus on here is sensory density. What does that mean? It means instead of just saying, time slowed down, you pack a single moment with so much sensory information, sights, sounds, smells, feelings, that you literally force the reader's brain to hit the brakes to process it all.
The absolute best way to get this is just to see it in action. So let's do a little before and after. We'll start with a sentence that, it gets the job done, but that's about it.
3 words. The car crashed. That's it. The moment is over as soon as you read it. It's a fact. It's been reported. Done. Now, let's see what happens when we apply the Hollywood technique to that exact same moment.
Whoa, now that is the exact same moment, but it doesn't feel the same at all, does it? By using this technique, we now have the sight of shattering glass like dying stars, we have the sound of tortured metal, the physical feeling of the airbag, and even the smell of cordite. It's a complete sensory experience.
And this comparison just lays it all out perfectly. We went from a simple fact to a lived-in experience. We didn't say time slowed down. We made the act of reading about the moment take longer, and in doing so, we actually bent the reader's perception of time itself. It's incredible.
So you're probably thinking, okay, that's really cool, but how does it actually work? It seems complex, but the mechanics behind it are surprisingly simple. Let's dig in.
The core idea is to think of yourself as a film director. In a fast action scene, you're cutting really quickly between shots, right? But for a slow motion scene, the camera lingers. It captures dozens of tiny details in a single second. That's exactly what you're doing with your words here. You're just taking more pictures of the moment. And the process is really straightforward. First, you isolate that one crucial second you want to stretch. Step 2, you engage all the senses. Brainstorm everything the character is seeing, hearing, smelling, feeling. And finally, and this part is key, you write a picture for each of those little details, using more words to physically fill up the page.
And this isn't just some fancy literary device, it's actually rooted in cognitive science. You are quite literally hijacking the reader's brain, forcing it to work differently than it normally does.
See, the crucial point is this direct chain of events. More words take up more physical space on the page. That extra space requires more time for our eyes to physically scan across it. Describing more senses activates more parts of the brain. And all of that extra processing creates the subjective feeling that time itself has expanded. It's a brain hack. This quote from our source material just sums it all up perfectly. It's not about magic. It's about the physicality of the words on the page and the sensory data they carry. That's what does all the heavy lifting.
And here's a really fascinating detail that proves this isn't magic, it's mechanics. Even writers with something called aphantasia, which is the inability to create mental images, can use this technique. And why is that? Because it's not about what you see in your head, it's about methodically listing out sensory details like sound, smell, and touch to build the scene for the reader. Anyone can do it.
Okay, so we've covered the what, the how, and the why of the Hollywood technique. So, if you're going to remember one thing from all this, what should it be?
It's really this simple. To make your reader feel like a moment lasts forever, you have to be willing to linger in that moment first. Force yourself to find every last sight, sound, and feeling. Pack it with so much detail that it's physically impossible for your reader to just skim past it.
So, I'll just leave you with this question. Think about the story you're working on right now. What's that one moment, that climax, that decision, that impact that deserves more pictures? Well, now you've got the tool. Go give that moment the time it truly deserves.